Well, it looks like Kantai will be pushing B cap relatively hard. They're gonna go the AB strat. So Carrier Hiryu is all by himself on A cap. So it depends on how many of the TSF destroyers are going A cap. But we could see some
you got
instant action at A cap.
you got Silly Putty and Achilles both in Benson's coming there right now to come contest that. So if there's only one destroyer at A cap for Kantai, that is going to be either a choice for them to leave immediately or probably die. That is not somewhere you want to hang out.
Now Cruiser Yura is a ways behind. He's about 8 kilometers behind Carrier, but he's going to be kind of out of line of sight. So let's kind of get a good zoom out view of this and see. Carrier Hiryu is just like, wait, why am I not capping this? Why did this go red instead of green first? And he's kind of posted up and saying, I'm going to wait a little bit, let's find out. Destroyer Minakaze knows exactly what that means, so he's going to be spreading and kind of looking for not only destroyers, but mainly torpedoes. Silly Putty within 5 kilometers, instant PvP. Here we go, this is exactly what we want. Hopefully he's singing probably just a 1v1. He's got the vision, Carry Hiryu, and there's Achilles going to be going right around that island. Shots are in for Cruiser Yura as well. Smoke, I think, from both sides. Silly Putty not getting hit at all, so Carry Hiryu missing most of his shots. And Carry Hiryu going down to 11,000 life. 2 Bensons versus 1. Silly Putty finally taking some damage.
Yes, finally. I mean, I think there's a lot of panic shots from Carry Hiryu there. Obviously, he's not really focusing his fire down because Silly Putty is just really only taking one little bit of a volley, and they're really going to chase him off here. I said, if you come to a point and there's 2 versus 1 versus destroyers, there's not a lot you can do. You either have to leave or just suicide it and hope your torps, really take out both at close range. And that's, of course, that's such a risky thing. I don't think they want to judge that right now, so early in the game, and do that. But also, aircraft coming in to support a bit too. They're not going to give up this cap point. Actually, they're going to smoke up that corner. They're going to send in some aircraft. And he said Carrier Zakaku is also going to come in from the side in his Kutuzov and really try and deal some damage there to make sure that both these Bensons are not welcome on A cap.
Now, these Bensons had the advantage for a little bit, but they had to make their strike. They have Destroyer Taylor, which is also moving in behind these guys within 7 kilometers, who's now spotted by aircraft. But they have a Kutuzov. I mean, it's a 3v2 here in favor of Kantai, and Destroyer Taylor going to be slowly moving up. But he of course, spotted by planes, so these guys know he's there. But this could be really bad for 2 of the destroyers on TSF.
Yeah, I mean, you do not want to lose both these destroyers early or let them take a ton of damage. Unfortunately, both Carrier Hiryu and Silly Putty did take some damage in those exchange, but right now they're not in a terrible place, and Achilles can sit in that corner there and just keep contesting that. But he may decide to move on and just deal with something somewhere else. And actually, yes, he's moving off the point right now, realizing the Kutuzov, Destroyer Taylor and everyone else is just too much for these 2 guys to handle right now. They're going to go back, they're going to retool, go deal with probably B, and really try and take control of this map. Right now, really, I mean, TSF is only down by a few points. Really, it's anyone's game. There's really no reason to be super aggressive. Both sides have a cap point, though unfortunately, it looks like unfortunately for TSF, I should say, Kantai is about to take A cap, and that means they are going to be slowly falling behind, so they have to do something eventually, but nothing too drastic at this moment, but they are getting spotted as they're trying to retreat by really great carrier gameplay by the Shikaku, just lighting up those Bensons constantly, trying to keep them lit, trying to keep them annoying, and then make sure that their team can actually lay some firepower on them. But they haven't actually been able to fire on them, despite being spotted for quite some time.
Yeah, it looks like Carrier Hiryu took about 10k damage. Destroyer Taylor moving in, and I don't think those guys will chase them too long. They'll make the rotation over. They've scared off the destroyers. And could actually potentially Cruiser Yura could get some shots on these guys as they're going broadside, because they're still spotted thanks to Destroyer Minakaze. Now they go dark for the team, but they're still being shadowed and overwatched by these guys. And it looks like we've been so focusing on A cap that there's been some small back and forth, some pokes and prods between the B cap crews, but not too much. Nurman lowest about 4,000 life. Actually, a decent shot right there. Nurman going about 40k. Carrier Zukuku is down about 24k. But he's smoked up. He's hiding behind an island with Submarine Wahoo. We'll go up to there. That's kind of their front line right there, so we'll bounce up to that really quick. But they're kind of just posted right behind that island, and he's going to be a no-fly zone for these planes as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a real nice block for them to slowly push into B. I mean, right now you see the Benson Rhino putting the line of smoke in, letting them get close, letting them attack without having to take too much damage. But right now Nurmon is still being attacked for a lot, and he could really go down if he's not too careful. Though he's at 40k, he's not in danger at the moment, but he's got to be careful before he gets too far. D-Bob out by himself in the corner here, but Rhino is coming to try and smoke him up as well. You have Decape, who's way also out on the other side. Not as much danger because I don't think either Cruiser Otago or Newport News can really get at him with the North Carolinas. So right now they're trying to set up a push into B slowly, but right now also they have a problem with both of the destroyers are still kind of just out in the open being spotted and taking damage. I mean, Silly Putty's down to 7k at this point. Achilles taking damage. He's at 11k. So those guys are not going to survive unless they get some support from their carrier early, and the carrier's wrapped up trying to help them just push into B. So sacrificing 2 destroyers, that seems real dangerous though right now. To just let them die.
Down
there.
goes Silly
no.
Putty. Destroyer Taylor taking him down with a torp, and within 6 kilometers, Destroyer Taylor's going to maybe potentially take down a second one. Within 6 kilometers. I'm surprised he hasn't started opening fire. Tesla Chicken within 10 kilometers, so Destroyer's got to be careful. This is the nightmare that TSF did not need of losing these 2 destroyers. These guys pushed ACAP. They had an advantage. Could have gone 2 for 1. And Destroyer Taylor been pushing up. He has the sonar. He has that ability. And Minikaze just being a pure team player right now, keeping these guys spotted. I don't think these guys went dark maybe once or twice for seconds. And other than that, they've had Cruiser Yura, Destroyer Taylor, and Submarine Wahoo being able to push up and kind of contest these guys. If I'm Destroyer Taylor right now just looking for torps, other than that, he's going to push this smoke because he's full life. He's sending in more torpedoes. And if they can take out two destroyers, I wouldn't say this game's a win, but they have a big advantage going into the rest of this game.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to push in right now. Rhino's trying to move up a little bit. They see Carrier Zakaku and his Katusa behind that island there. But D-Bob's taking a lot of damage trying to get in here, and Nurmon's definitely hurt. And also the other North Carolina, let's see. Yes, that's D-Bob, who's at pretty low health. I mean, it's definitely not their game to just walk away with right now. They're going to have to do some serious work to try and get into B. And soon, because right now, I mean, the point spread is over 200, and that's not something they can just walk away from. They haven't actually taken anything off, off Kantai yet, and they need to take a ship down. I mean, they're on the other side. I mean, their North Carolina is really low as well. They've got one that's definitely easy, a couple shots away from death, and the Benson is definitely hurting. But now they've lost 2 of their, or one of their destroyers, and they're down to 2 destroyers versus 3, and that's just hard in order to just take back the map because they could just send destroyers around and constantly keep harassing any point. And right now, I mean, TSF has literally their carrier taking control at sea. I mean, that's a really dangerous move.
Now D-Bob pretty low. Cruiser Quincy was the battleship you're talking about for Kantai, but Cruiser Quincy's up to about 26,000 life now, and D-Bob sitting right in the open, and he got a really good smoke from Submarine Wahoo, who's tried to smoke as many battleships as he could. Cruiser Tago now the main, but this is what Kantai does such a good job of. They rotate health. One guy gets low, he's the farthest up, he starts to roll back, they smoke him. You can only shoot at the 2 other guys. So then they start. Then you rotate. Kantai does a very good job at switching out health pools. They know it's a resource. They had D-Bob down about 700 life. Is he gonna go down? Down he goes. Cruiser Newport takes him down. So not only are they down a battleship, they're down a destroyer as well. So not only are they're losing on map control, they're losing on pure tanks and health. So 2 big losses to start out this game. We're about halfway through. And Kantai's controlling 2 of the caps now. Of course, at least one of the destroyers, maybe it looks like they're on cap. But Carrier Zakaku is just holding down B cap and just spamming these guys with HE.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm talking about right here. I mean, you see, Cruiser Otago in his North Carolina, he's taken a lot of damage, right? He was at almost full health. I mean, and they were attacking. Cruiser Newport was almost at full health, and they were attacking him instead. And now they finally switched over to the lower health guy, but they're not actually attacking the lowest health, ship on the field right now. And they need to prioritize at least one of these ships and take them down. There are some low ships on Kantai's team here, but they're not taking them out, and they're putting themselves in a lot of danger. Neuromon taking a ton of damage. Achilles down to 3k. I mean, like, this is a really dangerous spot for TSF at this point. I mean, they've got to really make some plays in order to make this happen.
Now Tago taking some big damage. Submarine Wahoo doing a really good kind of defensive. There was some pinging on the map that maybe they're getting flanked by a destroyer, and Submarine Wahoo doing a really good job at making sure nothing is affecting the team from that side. Could potentially go and maybe do a really good flank on this team and put some torps in, but not having the ability. Now, kind of looking at Kantai. Kantai had a controlling force on this team, and then Cruiser Newport now going up, and Cruiser Tago, and also Cruiser Quincy with Cruiser Yura as well. These guys are all pretty low, and I mean, Nurman's taking a lot of damage, but I mean, maybe he takes out one and Decade takes out another, and this game kind of rebalances itself out a little bit because Decade's almost full life. Just Nurman takes a torp, so that's not very good for him. But Cruiser Newport putting some shots in on Decade, but Nurman needs to at least maybe get a trade, go down, or at least take somebody down with him.
Oh, he's at 3K though, and he's burning like this. This no chance. He's not going to do anything at this point. He may get one more volley off, but nope, he's down before he can do anything else. I mean, that is a huge blow right now for TSF. A lot of their firepower just dropped off the field.
Snoop Duck taking big damage as well from probably torpedoes right there. Decape's the only one above 40,000 life right now, so Snoop Duck trying to take as much as he can, but now he's crippled almost, losing half his life in just a split second from those torps. Cruiser Newport healed up a little bit. Cruiser Tago sitting about 19,000 life. Cruiser Quincy not doing that well either. Actually, he's healed up about 43k, so doing a lot better than I thought. And Cruiser Zukaki just hasn't switched.
He's still sitting there. He hasn't taken much damage yet, and he's just lobbing HEs, you said, over this whole thing. This little I don't know, what is it, volcano in the middle here, just trying to deal some damage. And he's going to be able to hit the Benson. Oh, and Decape taking a ton of damage from those torpedoes at 2K. I mean, he's repairing, he's trying to do something, but he's about to get blasted to pieces. And then, of course, Achilles is right there with less than 16K as well. I mean, this team is falling apart real fast. I don't think they can bring it together for this battle.
So it looks like Kantai, you know, they only need one more kill. We're up to about 970 points. They take out one more, and it's GG right there. Maybe Rhino's going down. They can take him out. But other than that, TSF's got to get some. It's got to get. And There we go. Decade goes down. Apparently, he took a lot bigger hit than I thought he did from those torpedoes. And Kantai takes game 2. It just seems like they kind of controlled it. And I think the big turning point of this game was when those two destroyers destroy Minakaze. He did such a good job at keeping those destroyers lit and not letting them escape. They took down one destroyer. Taylor caught one in the smoke with a torpedo, and they kind of forced off the other one, able to rotate down. And Kerry Zukaku just hanging on B cap and just absolutely just shelling out HE almost the entire game. He was down about half life relatively early. I don't think he lost any more life. It was perma smoke, just hiding behind the island, being a huge nuisance. And Kantai doing a really good job. Didn't lose a single ship other than me. And they had a couple low guys, but really good job at rotating health pools, really good job at smoking out the low guys and keeping everyone alive and just being great anti-DD forces and really, again, controlling the map, man. They held 2 caps for almost the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, totally different game than game 2, right? I mean, they really did what they did in game 1. They came in, they held these points, but they didn't overcommit too much, and they just played the better hide the ship, deal the damage game, right? We've been talking about it all weekend so far. It's about smoking up your battleships and your cruisers, letting them deal a ton of damage while not being able to get hit, and I mean, that's the team who does it right. It's winning these battles. TSF did it round 2, Kantai did it round 1, and then Kantai did it again round 3 with a lot of great sharing of hit points, making sure 1 or 2 guys are taking damage, but everyone else who's low is hiding. And you know, by the end, there was a lot of low guys on Kantai, but not enough to die, and that was key, right? I mean, they saw guys like Nurmond, they finished him. They saw guys like D-Bob, they finished him off. Decape, again, survived for quite a long time, but eventually they focused him down and took him out. So some really great focus fire and overall from Kantai, and just really making sure they coordinate who they're targeting. And I saw, unfortunately, on TSF a few times where they said they were attacking. There were 2 North Carolinas right next to each other, and they all started attacking the high health one. I don't know if that's the best strategy right there. I feel like you want to take down the guy who's got the least amount of health. Give you the best chance to try and take him out.